What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JP, back with another video. I promised this video almost a week ago when I reviewed the Digi 1 Max. I actually got this before the Digi. I just hadn't had a chance to really record it there. This is the Honor 8X. As you can see, beautiful phone, beautiful phone. It's gorgeous. That is the blue color. I forgot exactly what they call it, but it has a very nice little shimmer here to it here. See how the bar that says Honor and AI camera is different than the rest of the phone. But box contents here. It is unfortunately micro USB and not USB Type-C. Your charging brick, your headphones, those came with it. Booklet, SIM ejector tool, your clear TPU case right there, and of course the box again, the phone. That's our display there. It is a 6.5 inch full HD plus 19:9 aspect ratio. It does have the notch. And there's a lot of confusion with this device right now. Jay Will actually unboxed a red one almost a month ago. And he didn't recommend it if you lived in the U.S. as much as he loved the device, and that's because the LTE didn't work. And it's almost impossible to find one that has the LTE here. I don't know if his particular model had band 5 for AT&T. A lot of these Asian phones do have band 5 for AT&T, like the Pogo phone. But AT&T commonly uses band 2. So you really want band 2 more than band 5 if you're on AT&T. Even better would be like band 17. And rule of thumb is if a phone has band 17, it also has band 12, which is a huge band for T-Mobile, along with band 2, which they also use, and band 4. This particular model of the Honor 8X, which I'll get to that in a minute here, I found this one off of eBay. The seller never MSRP, never dash MSRP, and they do have a the variant that works almost fully in the U.S. It's missing a particular band. I can't remember exactly which one, if it even is at all. But it does have all of your bands for AT&T. It has. Well, it may not have... man, let me see. I don't want to show the IMEI numbers here, and it's on the box here. But there was one that it has that the box doesn't list, and that's what it was. Okay. All right. The box actually doesn't, to this particular model, doesn't list band 12 and 17. But I do know that band 17 is there for AT&T, which means band 12 is there for T-Mobile. It does, however, list 2, 4, and 5. 2 for T-Mobile and AT&T, 4 for T-Mobile, and 5 for AT&T. But again, don't swear by that band 5, because again, a lot of Asian phones have band 5, but you're not going to get LTE everywhere. It's a very limited frequency that AT&T rarely uses. I'm not sure exactly why. It would be nice, but that's just, the way it is. But this particular model here, let me see if I can just show you and just cover these IMEI numbers here. Yeah, there we go, there we go. I'll let you see here. Shows kind of the specs here. If my camera would zoom in. Honor 8X, the blue, there's the model right there, JSN-L23. That is the one that you want. And there's the LTE FDD bands there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 28. It of course doesn't have 66 and band 71 for T-Mobile, but I mean, like I said, it does have 12. It does have 12. If you go to Never MSRP specs, it does show it. I have picked up band 17 before. Honor's phones are kind of weird as far as what indicator they display. Most phones, when they display 4G, but not LTE or 4G LTE, just 4G, typically means that you're just getting HSPA+, which is just a glorified 3.5G. Asus and Honor, they make it very confusing because their phones will display H plus for HSPA plus, but they'll display 4G for LTE, but it won't say LTE. It'll just say 4G, like other phones use for HSPA plus. So it's very confusing. So, you know, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Let me zoom in. This phone displays 4G, but the question is it HSPA plus or is it LTE? Well, the app that I use to determine that is Lte Discovery. I'm going to refresh it here. And as you can see, I am on band 2. Very critical band for AT&T. I mean, that is the most widely used band by AT&T. Band 17 offers faster speeds if you can pick it up in your area. Sorry for the wobbling here, y'all. But just want to go over everything there. You do get band 2. And that is the most widely used band for AT&T. J-Wheels did not have band 2. Very, very hard to come by an Honor 8X that has these bands. I was very surprised when I found it. I didn't know it existed. A lot of people didn't know it existed. So I did quickly pick it up. I loved the Honor 7X, and I also reviewed the Honor 6X early on when I first started doing this, but I wasn't too impressed with that at the time. At the time, ZTE had that blade that I forgot what the unlocked one was that had the Snapdragon 625, but I was more impressed with that than I was the Honor 6X. But you know, when the Honor 7X came out, I was very impressed, and I'm just as impressed with the Honor 8X. Very slim bezels, just like the reviews say, which is amazing for an LCD screen. I mean, iPhone XR, eat your heart out. I mean, this thing has bezels like an AMOLED screen. It's not AMOLED. It's a IPS LTPS screen. So it's actually manufactured by Sharp. I know a lot of times when people see IPS, they think it's manufactured by LG. But if it's an LTPS, it's actually manufactured by Sharp. And I'm using the UmiDigi, the UmiDigi 1 Max to record this, and that's not coming out quite as good as I wanted it to. The UmiDigi 1 Max, actually, the camera isn't bad. It's the software. So, for those that kind of want to follow up on the UmiDigi 1 Max's camera, watch this video here. I may put that in the description too. But yeah, the camera software on this phone is terrible. But the cameras itself are good. I'm just using the YouTube app, you know, and well, I mean, you know, which and all that does is use the stock camera app, and it's terrible. I should have used another app to record it and then put it on YouTube, but I'm kind of doing this live, so to speak. It's not YouTube live, but I'm doing this on all my videos are done on the fly. So I don't really even edit them. So that's why a lot of people don't really like my videos as opposed to others. Again, like Jay Will, like Flossie Carter, you know, like My Project 13, Donovan Hornbeck, I'm missing some of my other favorites, but you know, I don't really do a lot of editing. I just do these on the fly. But this is the Honor 8X. There's tons of videos out for it. Just a quick rundown on the specs, other than the screen, which I've already gone over. It does have the Kirin 710, which, you know, Huawei was slick with that. Last summer when Qualcomm announced the Snapdragon 710, that was when HiSilicon came out, you know, with their latest mid-range processor, the Kirin 710, to compete with the Snapdragon 710. Now, in comparison, it does have the Mali G51 graphics chip. In comparison, it does score, depending on what test you're using, it does score in between the Snapdragon 660 and Snapdragon 710. And, you know, a phone with this processor, you're going to get a lot cheaper than a phone powered by the Snapdragon 710. And the performance is in between that and the 660. I mean, there's still a lot of Snapdragon 660 phones coming out that cost more than this. So that's, you know, that's a it's really not a bad it's not a bad chipset at all. It's way better than its predecessor, the Kirin 659. The Kirin 710 blows it out of the water. 4 of the 8 cores are Cortex A73s, so it does actually have high power cores, not just energy efficient ones. But the Snapdragon 710 still has a beat with more up to date cores. If I'm not mistaken, 4 of its 8 cores are the Cortex A75s. But nonetheless, it's a great kit. This one has 4 gigs of RAM, and you can get them with 6 gigs of RAM, but I couldn't find it in this particular model that had the bands I needed. And the bands were a little bit more important than the 2 other gigs of RAM. The bands, I mean, they were more important than 6 gigs of RAM versus 4. But, 4 will get the job done. We all know that. But, you know, I do love having more RAM. I have the OnePlus 6T McLaren edition with the 10 gigs of RAM, and I love it. But nonetheless, here, just wanted to kind of give a quick rundown. It is a great device here. I just had to show y'all that LTE worked here. And it's very fluid. I've had very few hiccups, if any at all. I did get my next video will be the Asus Zenfone Max M2 with the all-new Snapdragon 632, which has actually been getting higher benchmarks than the 636, which is crazy. But that seems to happen a lot with Qualcomm's chipsets. Their numbers, you think HiSilicon's numbers are confusing. Qualcomm's are the worst. But especially their 600 series, they got that all messed up. But I hope y'all like this video. If you got some questions, let me know. I know a lot of people have been really wanting to either see this released in the US or with working US LTE bands, and I found it. Here y'all go. So y'all enjoy. Got some questions? Hit me up in the comments. And I appreciate all of my new subscribers I've gotten recently. Peace.